My mother was a special needs child. What do I mean by that? Well, when she was in high school, she was playing basketball one weekend, and by the following weekend, she couldn't use her left arm. She couldn't pick up a pencil. She had polio. And back then, if you had polio, all your friends you thought you had want to go next to you. You have a plague. That was the thing. But she said that's 20 years before the vaccination for polio came out. Well, more. But she said she was special needs. And what do special needs children get? They get breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They got the hot porridge in the morning, or the bacon and eggs in the morning with toast and butter. They got an apple or an orange or a banana. At the lunchtime, they would still have fruit. And at dinner, they had fruit. And anything that wasn't used up was sent home with these special needs children. My mother took home, if she took home an orange, it would be broken up into 9. There was 9 in the family, mom and dad, and brothers and sisters. There was 9 in the family. An orange can be split 9 ways, and banana or an apple 9 ways. And if it was lucky, they got, let's say they were going to have a holiday, they may get a basket, a food basket to take home with them. Yes, they liked holidays. They liked the holidays. They liked Christmas. They liked Easter and Good Friday and things like that because they got that little extra basket to take home, which is a lifesaver, that thing. What did her friends say? They wouldn't go near her. She walked down the hall. She could clear a pathway. Nobody would go near her. The healthy children wouldn't go near her unless they became special needs children, and then all their friends wouldn't go near her. But my mother said it was very simple. My mother in the summertime went to a special needs camp called Browns Lake Lodge, Wisconsin. And I worked up there. I started when I was 12 years old up there to work up there because I was tall, not very strong. Not very strong. But it was a special needs camp. They had cabins up there. The cabins were basically made for those with iron lungs. All the doors were wider. The stalls were wider. The showers were all wider. All the doors were wider. Everything had handlebars on the side. They quote the special needs in the cabins had special toilets and special showers and special this and special that. And one of the things we were told as young people up there, servers and dishwashers and cooks and what have you, never walk into a cabin by yourself. When you deliver breakfast, lunch, or dinner, you go with a second person. Why? Well, if you're in an iron lung as a child or an adult, you want someone to hit that switch over there. And people would ask it. They would cry, please shut this off. Of course, you shut it off, the person dies, suffocates. But they didn't want to live. Browns Lake Lodge, Wisconsin also happened to have a graveyard. Why would they have a graveyard? Because parents would dump their children in Browns Lake Lodge, Wisconsin. People died there. They were buried there. Parents would walk away. They'd deliver a child, and they would walk away. My mother said there was a special pill that you could buy for maybe $5, which was a lot of money back. I can tell you $5 is a lot of money. It still is, but back there, $5 is a lot of money. You could buy a special pill at the pharmacies, and most pharmacies did carry that special pill. It was a sleeping pill. Just like you get now, right now, that thing. But you would take this pill, and 8 hours later, your heart would stop. Pop. That's it. And after a while, coroners would say what they did. Well, they didn't have GCs, and coroners and everything else really didn't do autopsies like they do now. That special pill would be immediately found in a GC, running blood through the GC. Back then, it was one of those special pills for special need children or adults. As I said, Browns Lake Lodge, Wisconsin had their own cemetery with a lot of headstones. I won't say when anybody died up there when I was there, but again. You hear a person screaming in pain all the time. Parents would do that, is they would shut down the iron lungs for 5 minutes, and the person would suffocate, and then turn out to keep the iron lung going. Okay. And funerals were still expensive, so they basically got a cut rate funeral up there, because right down the hall there was the road was a doctor, and there was a funeral home. Yes. And to tell you one thing about special needs children, they didn't want to take them to, Browns Lake Lodge, but Burlington, Wisconsin would not have anybody from Browns Lake Lodge buried in their graveyards. We don't want those people. My mother was one of those special needs people. Those people. Them. That. It. But did she get better? Well, she got the use of her left arm. Yes, after a while, she could do things, but she never really forgive a lot of society for isolating her and people like her with polio. Remember, Theodore Roosevelt had polio, which was very interesting because all the Republican Party knew Theodore Roosevelt was carrying around iron on his legs. The news people knew it, the Republican Party knew it, and that thing. And back in that time, the Republican Party only attacked Roosevelt for being Roosevelt and never mentioned his polio or his legs. All the news people knew about it. All the camera people knew about it. They also knew never to take pictures of that thing. Unlike today, anybody, it's news. Not like today. Back then, they respected people that had problems, special needs people, handicapped people, physically or mentally. They respected them. Unlike today with the Republicans. They don't understand that. Or they will. Their states, so Texas will. When they start finding out they have a lot of special needs children born that way. Parents, all they do is walk into today in Texas, a special needs child is delivered to the fire department into that box over there. Here, that's my child. I can't take care of it. It's yours. Ooh. But, as I said, my mother saw her friends vanish. She saw her friends she developed die. Not a steady stream of that thing. She said she attended funerals up at Browns Lake Lodge, Wisconsin, of people who died, and their parents would never retrieve the body, or the wife would never retrieve the body, or the husband would never retrieve the body. At one time, they had a small room of iron lungs. It's like, yeah, and braces. I seem to remember something like that. Braces on a wall, one room. What's that? Are those the people that got better? No. Those are the people who died here, and their families would not retrieve the bodies. How did they die? Well, there's one thing. Going from the top level down to you went down a ramp to go to the kitchens. Down by the docks down there. Now they have around the lake. They have dock thing. They had an arm. A locked arm. And there was a reason for it. People in their wheelchairs decided to make a run. The first few times, they never had an iron. Then they started putting a bar across there, a locked bar across there, to keep people from getting on top of the ramp and going straight down there, down the boat dock, and off into about 6 feet of water with their wheelchairs. And you see them the next morning. Where is somebody here? Yes, suicide. Yeah, special. Yeah. As I said, at a pharmacy, you could buy a pill for $5. Oh, today what they do is they eat a pack of cigarettes. Oh, that's one of the other things, that thing. No smoking in the dormitories, no smoking in the cabins. Why? Fire. Oh my God. Fire. Especially when the oxygen tanks, the iron lungs. Oh my God, fire. There was a fire brigade. When you went up there as a person, one of the things you were taught, working up there, you don't see very much. You help everybody. You don't see very much. Help everybody. Special needs people needs help going to the bathroom, taking a shower. That. But fire was really, you had fire buckets all around there. You got fire extinguishers, half a dozen in the auditorium. The cabins had half a dozen fire extinguishers. Oh, you better know it. The last thing is you want fire because the person inside there, iron lungs, not going anywhere. They will suffocate. Yeah, or be cremated. How that thing? Well, I tell you what. One thing funny about this thing. My mother's in a nursing home, okay, and they're having dinner, and she's there, taking rolls off and sticking it into her bag. First of all, the attendants there didn't understand that. I said, "Yeah, well, we took her out for dinner." Into a restaurant, and she did the same thing. She stuffed rolls in her bag. Mom, you don't have to do that. Oh, I gotta feed the family. Dementia, she remembers the family she has to feed. My mother basically died of dementia. Yeah, flop. To the day ain't done. And she died. You could hear her calling for her mother.